Hi guys, as we know, Parliament is in recess at the moment and MPs are supposed to be holding constituency surgeries, listening to the problems of voters and trying to resolve them. But the people of Croydon South will be in a bit of a fix if they have a problem that they want their MP to resolve, because he's not in the constituency, he's not even in the UK, he's in northern France, filming asylum seekers. So Chris Philp, the MP for Croydon South, posted a number of clips online where he was attacking the Labour government and the French police. Have a listen.
So what we can see here is a large group of illegal migrants being shepherded onto a public bus. French police, as you can see, are present and they are heading towards embarkation points where illegal crossings of the channel will happen very shortly. These people are going to probably be in a hotel somewhere near you soon. This is a symptom of the complete inactivity by French law enforcement, and it's a symptom of the Labour government's total loss of border control. It's happening right now, right behind me.
Okay, so this is, of course, an attempt to pander to people who are considering voting for Nigel Farage. The fault here is, of course, the Labour government for not being tough with the French, and the French for helping these people get to the seaside, get to Calais, or get to some place where they can get on a small dinghy. Now, if this is about winning over people who are supportive of Nigel Farage, it's not going to work very well, because Nigel Farage posted this response on social media. Do keep up, Chris Philp. This was exposed 2.5 years ago when you were still a Home Office minister. And what did your party do about it then? So have a listen.
And so you've been back across the channel towards Dunkirk, Calais. What have you discovered about the French efforts to help us?
Well, I've found absolutely the opposite happening. I've found what I think is probably the biggest scandal yet. Last November, we gave £63 million to the French to beef up border controls. They, in the last 4 years, have spent £52 million on free buses, which I've discovered are carrying thousands of migrants from their camp to the beaches.
Free buses?
Free buses.
So you can get on a bus in northern France for free?
Yes, in Dunkirk. Yep. It's like a pioneer city for free.
Okay, so I don't know if this is true, because this is, of course, the Daily Mail. Okay, so the Daily Mail is not all that reliable. But let's say, for the sake of argument, it is true. So why would the French authorities be busing people from one part of France to another? Well, because these people don't want to stay in France. This is what I keep saying about asylum seekers. They don't want to stay in France. The French authorities don't want them. There are people who are sitting around waiting to move on. They can't, because they need to get access to a dinghy, a small boat, in order to cross the channel. But once again, these people do not want to stay in France. They want to get to Britain. So if the only way to get them out is by providing free transportation, I would assume that the French authorities will do that. Now, this clip where you have Chris Philp, we don't know the context here. I've tried to do some research into this. I'm not going to trust Chris Philp. I'm not going to trust his word. But let's say, for the sake of argument, these are asylum seekers being loaded onto a bus. Once again, these people don't want to stay in France. What is the point in France keeping them there if they don't want to stay there? If they're being moved on, probably. The French police are there to maintain safety, security, make sure things don't get out of hand. And that's probably it. But once again, these people don't want to stay in France. Now, I was of the idea that maybe Chris Philp is making these videos in order to pander to people who may be considering voting for Nigel Farage. But I think it has changed now. I have a different opinion of this. I think this is an attempt to blame someone else, because I never understood why the Conservatives were talking about immigration. Why are you talking about a topic that you're losing support to Nigel Farage on? And now I think I've come to the conclusion it's about blaming someone else. Remember, the Conservatives are always about blaming somebody else. Liz Truss blaming the Blob, blaming the Bank of England, Boris Johnson blaming the European Union. The Conservatives are always about blaming somebody else. Rishi Sunak was blaming the civil service. It's always about blaming somebody else. And I think this is what Chris Philp is trying to do. These series of videos he posted on social media, the general focus has been on the French police. The French police are at fault here, not the Conservatives when we were in charge, even though the same thing was happening when the Conservatives were in charge. no, the problem is Labour to a certain extent, but of course the French. So anytime somebody brings up the point about, well, when you were in charge, immigration increased, Chris Philp will just turn around and say, well, it wasn't our fault, it was the French. So don't expect the Conservatives to take responsibility for anything. It's not in their DNA. So I think this is what Chris Philp is trying to do, create a narrative that when immigration was rising, it wasn't our fault, it was the French. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.